Thank you for that extensive introduction. मतलब इतना डिटेल में सब कुछ मेरे बारे में बताया, तो I was also having a flashback in life कि क्या क्या कहाँ कहाँ गया था मैं, क्या क्या किया है and all that. So language wise मराठी कळतं पण बोलू शकत नाही. So all right, ठीक है, excellent. Then we'll keep English, ठीक है, हिंदी and English. राष्ट्रभाषा भी नहीं छोड़ेंगे, लेकिन फिर पेट पेट की भाषा भी जो है इंग्लिश, उसे भी याद रखना पड़ेगा, राइट? सो मोस्ट ऑफ आवर ब्रेड ओरिएंटेड language is English, right? That's why we all are good at coding also, because the language of coding is also somewhere close to being in English. So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Nikhil sir, for calling me, and congratulations to Cybersecure first, and then all of you who are passing out after doing this program at Cybersecure, and also now joining the internship program which is there. And I was really happy जब निखिल सर ने बोला कि आना है for this particular event, and I'm always very excited with the kind of work he does, because I call this future of India or future of humanity in general. The way life is going around, the way world is moving, जो कहते हैं ना कि what happened in the last 100 years, right? What happened in the last 100 years, that much amount of development human race did in the last 10 years. जो 100 साल में हुआ था पिछले, उतना ही डेवलपमेंट हम लोगों ने 10 साल में कर लिया, ठीक है? And at the same time, now it is said that whatever happened in last 10 years is the amount of development we'll do it in 1 year's time. Right? Human race is growing and is developing at that. When we look at human development index, we are growing at that rate. And major इसके अंदर जो catalyst है, what makes this change happen is the cyber world. Right? And I'm just using the word cyber world, and all of you know that cyber world is just the beginning of it, because we are moving into something called the metaverse. Metaverse is going to be way beyond, where people are going to actually live on the cyber grid as humans, as individuals. And in that space, this thing which you guys are doing, security and forensic, right? I carefully read the heading where it says security and forensics. This is very important, and this is going to be one of the prime profession which is going to come into picture. Not only profession, but I would say it will be one of the most required duties which you would be also doing towards serving the people of the nation, serving the people of the society in general. Okay, so that's where I thought, chalo, why not share few thoughts of Kautilya, because Arthashastra and Chanakya is my area of expertise, which I have studied, and I have been trying to work with Dr. Pillai in terms of how can we bring about these principles, जो अपना विरासत है, I call it the treasure of India. How can we use this in terms of implementing in present day? How can we see that जो principles are there in Indian culture, how can we use it for our own people? So when we talk, and when Prime Minister talks, or because I work with defense, ex and I would say late General Bipin Rawat was there, who also always spoke about that we should have an India-centric view. Right? Today, when Ukraine and Russia war is happening and the world is somewhere divided into two parts, so everyone is saying, I am with NATO, I am with Russia. ठीक है, and फिर बोलते हैं, India, where are you? So India, बोले, India, where are you? India is not answering. फिर पूछा ऐसा जबरदस्ती, India, where are you? So India said, India, I am with India. Right? So we are saying we have our own stand now. We stand for ourselves. And then Prime Minister uses the word Atmanirbhar, like we are on our own, and we will look at benefit of our own. International politics में, international जब geopolitics होता है, तो all this has been looked into, where what is the country's benefit, right? तभी ये नहीं देखा जाता कि अभी अरे यूक्रेन के साथ गलत हुआ तो अभी हम रशिया से बात नहीं करेंगे, we will not talk to, अभी हमारा झगड़ा हो रखा है, you're not a good person. No, we need them, so we need them. We need US needs us. Everyone needs everyone, and we will go by our own stand. And that is what is important for us to understand, especially we Indians, because when it comes to the word IT, okay, so I would call it information technology. It is Indian technology also, right? Because most of the people who run the IT worlds are Indians. No matter the investors might be from Silicon Valley, and they might be the whites who think of, or someone from European countries who might be there, but who run the brains, who run this are Indians. All the major companies. In fact, I posted a post 2 days back. All the major IT companies in the world have CEOs who are Indians, right? And I would say not only Indians. Passport का color change हो गया होगा, उन लोगों को वो भाव अपने देश के लिए होगा नहीं होगा. Second thing, but all these people are educated in Indian education institutes. They are IIT, IIM pass outs, they are from ISBs of the world, and the Indian institutes, Indian education system se nikle hue log hai, right? That is what we have to be proud of, that this is the system through which, this is the culture through which these people have come out and are leading the world, right? And cyber world, I mean, yes, you all are here as cybersecurity experts, is a world where India, it's the time for India. जब बोलते हैं ना कि कब आएगा इंडिया का टाइम, आ गया इंडिया का टाइम. This is the time where we will be able to impact. Today, no one is able to tell anything to India because we say, हमारा stand है. We want to give wheat, we will give wheat. हमको गेहूं नहीं देना है किसी को, हम नहीं देंगे, right? And no one is going to come and tell us we have that stand as a country because of this one strong factor which we stand on is information technology and the cyber world, right? There are other things, there are a lot of things of concern which we keep discussing, like data sovereignty क्या है, how much of data centers are with us, security कितना अपने पास है. All that are things to be discussed and worked upon. But where we stand as on date, the intellectual property which we stand on, right, is the asset. So few things I thought, let me share from Kautilya Arthashastra point of view, Chanakya's point of view. What does he talk of when it comes to security and forensic? Because that is what you guys are doing. Security and forensics, two words. Security is something which is defensive, right? You all would know this. Security is defensive, जहाँ पे we try to safeguard. कुछ गलत होने से पहले उसको safeguard किया जाए. Firewall which you create. If something is coming, I'm going to safeguard. It's a defensive mechanism what you talk of. And forensic is something which happens post, right? कुछ crime हो गया, something has happened, an incident has happened, and then you try to investigate it. That becomes more of forensic is what we look at. There's third angle which is more of when we talk of defense, we also talk of attack. We also talk of going and creating, but that's not the area of discussion in this forum. But that's always there. I work with the Indian Armed Forces. We do a training program at the College of Defense Management, which is there. And somewhere, even the Armed Forces level, there is a realization that after tri-services, there might be a fourth service required. What are the tri-services? Anyone? Tri-services of India? Army, Navy, Air Force, right? So Army, Navy, Air Force, and can we have a cyber army as well? That's the question, and that's what has been discussed, and probably we are preparing somewhere on that grounds as well. And you all are probably the soldiers, you all are the generals who will be there, who would be a part of that kind of a system which we are talking, where India's own cyber defense and cyber attack both needs to be worked upon. So there are a few things, but then coming on to Kautilya Arthashastra and Chanakya and my specialization which is there, so I got a few thoughts. So there is this chapter, there is this book in Kautilya Arthashastra. So if you can just change the slide, which is book number 4, which says the suppression of criminals. Kantaka Shodhanam. Kantaka matlab kya? Kantaka means kata, right? Kantaka Shodhanam. How do I find that thorn which is there, which is affecting me? So there are chapters in that, from starting from 1 to 13. All of them might not be relevant. There are around 200 odd sutras out there. But then we will at least look at the chapters. I'm not getting into details. What is the chapter Kautilya Arthashastra talks about when it comes to suppression of criminals, right? So if you can just change the slide once. So to be more clear, yeah, this is readable. So chapter number 1 in this book number 4, जो कंटक शोधनम की बात कर रहे हैं, it talks about keeping a watch over artisans. Artisans मतलब कौन? Anyone who is doing art, right? छोटा कारीगर जो art से काम करते हैं. So we are talking of basically जहाँ छोटी चोरी होती है. छोटी चोरी कहाँ होती है? गलत QR कोड दे दिया किसी ने, किसी ने OTP चोरी करा लिया, कहीं पे मेरा पैन कार्ड यूज होके मेरा KYC यूज हो गया है. छोटी छोटी small theft which happen. Where should you look at this? कहाँ पे इसको प्रोटेक्ट करना है? How to work upon that? छोटी चोरियां भी प्रोटेक्ट करना एक important काम होता है for the when Chanakya is talking, he's talking from the king's point of view. The government को क्या करना है? The government has to make sure this small thefts are reduced, or basically you can work upon a mechanism to secure this small theft. So work on thinking those lines of small thefts. Second thing he talks of keeping a watch over traders. Traders, matlab, you're talking of especially the financial institutes, right? Zerodha, Wazir X, and now that the coin world is also coming into picture, there's so much of crime happening in that particular direction. Trading frauds. In fact, there is an investigation department with NSC and BSc. Both of them have that traders koi fraud to nahi kar rahe. These are all cyber frauds, and now that the whole system is moving online, it is all related to cyber, and you all have to work and think in those directions. Number 3, he talks of remedy during calamities. What is a calamity? Kuch ho gaya. Something went wrong. So say fire, earthquake, बारिश आने वाली है. मुंबई will definitely have a calamity. Trust me, वो हर साल एक हफ्ता तो होने ही वाला है, right? So पानी भर गया, सर्वर रूम में पानी गया, डेटा लॉस हो गया. आग लग गई, बिल्डिंग में कुछ हो गया, डेटा लॉस हो गया, सिस्टम लॉस हो गया, earthquake आ गया, something has happened. Some or the other calamity has happened and you have lost important information somewhere. How do you protect yourself against that? Data security. Your privacy security in such kind of scenarios is what you will need to keep off. So that is what we call as cyber risk management. कि कुछ गलत हो गया तो हमारा backup क्या है, right? So that is where Chanakya also talks about more of remedial things which you have to always keep in mind. Then he look at next thing, he says guarding against principal with secret income. ठीक है, आजकल तो because of micro payment all the काला धंधा also has started happening on UPI. Every small payment तो फिर क्या होता, दोस्त ने दिया था, ये हुआ था, वो हुआ था. Every transaction is moving on to UPI, which is a good thing. But at the same time, this is also bringing in a lot of criminal activities out there, right? So people will have a lot of dual incomes. कोई कहीं काम कर रहा है, उसके अकाउंट में एक तो सैलरी आ रही है, दूसरा भी कोई इनकम आ रहा है. क्या इनकम आ रहा है, कहाँ से आ रहा है? कि वो डेटा तो नहीं बेच रहा है, ये तो कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन तो नहीं पास होंगे. Is he getting payment for something else? You have to go and investigate. Now, this will be again investigation things which we are talking of. It will come in when you have a case to work upon. Right. Going on, detention of criminal through secret agents. Detection of criminals through secret agents. I keep talking with Nikhil sir. क्या case आया, क्या नया कुछ आया, something interesting and things like that. And he talks of this. कि ऐसा पता था ये आदमी है. We had to find something. और फिर वो फोटो के साथ में एक link attach करके भेज दिया. And then we got all the information from the person and things like that. So how do you behave as secret agents? And you all will have this power, knowing cyber world more than the normal citizens, right? So you should be able to find out help in terms of finding this thing of who the criminal is through secret activities. It's a very sensitive subject to work upon, but secret activities is going to be one thing which you will be doing. Undercover hoke kya kaam ho raha hai. And yes, definitely sir is there. Sir will talk more about it from the policing point of view, how policing is using in terms of the spying and secret service which we do. But that is what Chanakya also prescribes. He says ye karna zaruri hai to suppress criminal activities in the society. Then he talks of more of arrest on suspicion with the articles and by the act. Cognizable offense, which we talk in legal terms. Warrant की जरूरत नहीं है, magistrate की permission की जरूरत नहीं है if there are certain things. And in the cyber world, you guys will come across certain cases where you have enough evidence to put across. ये रहा सामने, यही बंदा है, ये चोर है. This is the person, and that will come under cognizable offense. So hota hai, all that will be policing part of it, and the legal system works in particular direction. But Chanakya also talks about it. Certain crimes needs to be immediately curbed, and that is why the police is given a right to arrest a person without a warrant or without the magistrate's permission. Okay, so that is what Chanakya talks about in that particular chapter. In quest of sudden death. Now Chanakya ने एक चीज बहुत interesting है. If there is a sudden death, अरे हार्ट अटैक आ गया, बहुत जवान था, पता नहीं हार्ट अटैक आ गया. नहीं 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 नहीं, something is fishy. ये उम्र में हार्ट अटैक आया तो it needs to be investigated. अरे जवान था, नींद में ही चला गया ऊपर. I'm sure we all have heard this kind of stories. This needs to be investigated is what Chanakya says. So you all will definitely come across certain cases where there is a death which has happened. Now we need to find out the background, kya hua hai. If it is a criminal case, then you'll have to probably go into the cyber background of that person, try and find out किससे बात कर रहा था, last क्या search किया था, किधर था, क्या था, to become a part of investigation. But yes, in death, investigation becomes important, especially when it is sudden. बीमार है, कुछ हो गया, on a different matter. But suddenly, if someone is gone, you need to investigate that. It is what Chanakya says. Then finally, looking at investigation through interrogation and through torture. And I mean, I'm not getting into this. This is not a part of what we are looking, more from policing and criminal suppression point of view. Keeping a watch on departments, redemption of corporal punishments. I mean, obviously, if corporal punishments are given. Capital punishment कहाँ दिया जाता है, violation of the maids, and punishment through transgression. Few of the things he talks of and how criminal activity should be managed. You guys should have that spirit in mind. And now understand, what I understand is there will be three sectors or three parts in which, or three, I would say, areas in which you will work. Number one is when you work with general public. किसी का पर्सनल केस है, मेरे फोन में कुछ हो गया, ये कुछ हैक हो गया है, चोरी हो गया है, ये हो गया है, वो हो गया है, राइट? Matrimonial disputes comes a lot that ways. Number two, when you're working with corporates, companies hai, banks hai, financial institutions hai, insurance companies hai, you are working with corporates. And number three, you will work with is governments. Right? So government departments is what you will be working with. Now, when it comes to individual, it is their case which you are looking at. But when you're looking at a corporate, make sure the interest of the corporate or the company is always kept in mind, not an individual's interest is kept in mind. So I'm putting this as three layers. Individuals, uske upar corporates or organizations, I would say organizations, not even corporates, any kind of organization, charitable organization, NGOs, any organization. So interest of the organization has to be above interest of an individual. Right? And finally, the most important, if you're working for the government, it is the country, it's the nation. Rashtra Sarvapalli, you have to, whether it is any company, any individual, any big leader, any rich person, if that is coming in the progress of the country, or if it is not in the interest of the country, you have to make sure that you get that rectified, or you pick it up, you report it, or you basically when you find it out, and you don't ignore that, because keeping the interest of the country is the most important, which you all should keep in mind, especially when you're working in the cyber world, which is an open world. So three things, look at yourself from that point of view. Individuals, obviously good business, corporates, good business, and government is business, but I would say government is also our duty. So do it as a duty. You guys will come across a lot of sensitive information when you're working. So you guys are also people who should be able to keep secrets of a lot of things, apne paas bahut kuch rakhna. And you all will also fall into zones where you will get access to information which is not available to everyone and anyone, right? But make sure that the spirit is hold. You keep the spirit upright. किसके लिए काम कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, और किसका benefit होना important है इसके अंदर. That spirit is important, and keep doing well. In fact, I was telling Nikhil sir that all these people, more than 200 people are there. This is the future of cybersecurity. This is the future of what we are looking at. Keep making country a safer country to be in. And why not? You should teach these people, take them abroad, maybe something like take them to Israel or something like that. Take a batch, show them what's happening, show them how the cybersecurity world is working, take exposure, learn from what is happening around the world, and then be the best in what you are. So all the best, and congratulations on everything that you're doing. Thank you.